Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Today, Bahiya Daruciriya Thera Vatu, the story of Bahiya Daruciriya. From Sahasawaka Dhammapada. Sahasamabi Jegatha Anatha Bada Sahita Ekangata Badan Seyo Yansudwa Upasambati. A Jume Ponenda Saindo Gatha di Detomben Physica Mumia Jana Yatapin Ragasa di Ning Ejong Pieto Gatha Dakata Dida Poloye Miai. Better than 1,000 useless buses is one useful bus. Herein which one attains peace. This Dhammapada was taught by the Buddha while he was dwelling at Jetavana Monastery in Savatthi city with reference to Daruciriya Thera. Daruciriya Thera here. Then Daruciriya Thera, on one occasion, many merchants, many businessmen went out to the sea in a ship, in a boat. They went to the other country by ship, crossing the ocean. Strong wind and strong wave in the ocean. Then their ship wrecked, crushed. Then all became the food of fishes and tortoises, except one. One person was very lucky. He got one very small boat, one wooden boat. Then using this boat, he tried to pass the ocean. Then he was still alive. Then finally he reached one Sobaraka port near the Sobaraka city without dying. All the other merchants from the ship died in the ocean. Then when he reached Sobaraka port, then he has no clothes. He was a naked body, or he was a naked, no clothes to wear. Then he dared not to go to the crowded area, into the people with the naked body. That is why, how he do? He collect many the wooden boat and make as the clothes with the rope, by tying the rope. Then he wear this wooden boat clothes. Then take one cup from the Deva shrine. Then he went to the people and Sobaraka, near Sobaraka port. Then many people also, okay, saw Daruciriya. Daruciriya means, Daru is the like wooden boat. Then, Ciriya means he make his clothes and wear this one. That is why his name automatically became Daruciriya. You know, then he was also practicing his own way outside of the Buddha's dispensation. That is why Bahiya, Daruciriya. But in sense, Bahiya means his native hometown, native town. That is why he is from Bahiya city. That is why Bahiya Daruciriya. Then when he went to the people with the cup by wearing the wooden boat rope, then many people also thought, oh, he is a very special person. He is Arahanta. That is when they offer many foods to him. Is it? Then many also praise him as Arahanta. You know, Ayyan Eko Araha, Ayyan Eko Araha. Here is one Arahanta here. Then his news became famous in this area. Then many people approach him and offer many food and also many different clothes and robes to him. Then he thought, because of my appearance, now they praise me as Arahanta. They also offer many foods to me. If I wear the clothes like normal people, then they will not praise me as Arahanta. Then they will not offer any foods to me. Then his gain and honors will disappear. That is why, although many people offer many clothes to him, then he rejected. Is it? He refused them without accepting. He doesn't want to work. Then his news became more famous in this area. Then many people also thought, oh, he is one of the Arahanta. One of the Arahanta. Is it? Then many people recognized as Arahanta. At that time, he also thought to himself, yes, I am one of the Arahanta. He thought to himself, is it? I am one of the Arahanta. There are many Arahanta in the world. I am one of the Arahanta. Or I am practicing the path to become Arahanta. Oh, then he thought to himself. Then he also stayed as Arahanta in this area, receiving gain and honor from many people around this city for a long time, for some times. At that times, you know, Purana Salohita. Purana Salohita means one Brahma has fellow monks in the past. Fellow monks means they practice meditation together during the Kassapa Buddha times. Then now he is in Brahma realms as Brahma. Then he saw, from time to time, he also observed his friends. Is it? His friends, where are they, what they are doing in this way. That is why this Brahma knows the Bahiya Daruciriya's conditions. Oh, now he is deceiving as Arahanta. Then, what is a Purana Salohita? His relatives in the past, or his fellow monk in the past. You know, during Kassapa Buddha times. Later, part of the Buddha's dispensation. Then like here in our Buddha dispensation, many bhikkhu, samanera don't want to follow the Buddha's Vinaya, Dhamma and Vinaya. They behave according to their own desire. So they have misbehavior, bad conduct in the Buddha's dispensation. Is it? They don't practice Dhamma and Vinaya. So they become bad monk and Samanera in the Kassapa Buddha's dispensation. Many some bhikkhu and Samanera. Is it? Then, 7 bhikkhus discussed each other. Now, Kassapa Buddha's sasana will disappear soon. Before disappearance of the Buddha's sasana, we should try to practice the Dhamma. We should try to attain our reliable Dhamma. Then we should go to the forest to practice without associating with bad monk in Samanera. Why? They don't follow Vinaya rule, they don't practice the Dhamma. Most of them are bad monk. Is it? There's no good monk in Samanera in the Buddha's dispensation. That is why now they discuss and went to the very thick forest. When they reached the forest, they also found very high mountain, very steep and high mountain. Then they make one ladder to climb up the mountain. Then after that they says, among our groups, if someone has attachment to their life, then please return to the monastery. Those who don't have attachment to their life, then, okay, we will climb up the mountain together. Then they also discussed each other. Then, okay, no one returned to the monastery. They climb up the mountain from the ladder. Then they reach up to top of the mountains together, 7 bhikkhus together. After that, okay, they throw away the ladder, not to go down again on the mountain. Then they practice meditation diligently. 7 bhikkhus practice meditations diligently at the top of the mountains. Then only just one night passed. Mahathera in this group became Arahanta. When he became Arahanta, then together with psychic power, then he flew into the Himalaya mountain. There's one pond, Anodata lake. Then this Arahanta Mahathera went there with his psychic power. Then he also take a shower, take bath. Then he also drank the water. Then he also used the 2 sticks with the special kripa. Then he went to the Uttaraguru, North Island, for ants food. Then he collected ants food from North Island. Where is North Island now? Uttaraguru. Then he went to this North Island for ants food and collected the ants food and returned to the mountain with his psychic power. Then after that, he offered the 2 sticks and the waters to his fellow monks who are practicing meditation. Then, bhikkhus, then you can wash your face. You can also use the 2 sticks with this special kripa. Then please have the foods here. Then this Arahanta Mahathera offer water, 2 sticks and ants foods to the other bhikkhus. Then the other bhikkhu also replies to Mahathera, Bhante, did we have any agreement within us? You know, those who became, who will become Arahanta first, then he will collect the unspooled waters for the other remaining bhikkhu, the other bhikkhus. Then the other bhikkhu will eat the food offered by this Arahanta. Did we have such kinds of agreement before coming here? We don't have. Then Bande, we will not eat the unspooled offered by you. Then we were also trying to practice to become Arahanta like you. At the time, we were going and collect the unspooled, and we will eat the unspooled ourselves. Oh, they rejected the unspooled offered by Arahanta Mahathera. Is it? Then Arahanta Mahathera also couldn't do anything. Then next day, second Mahathera also became Anagami together with Sakippawa. The same way, then he also flew to the Anodata lake. Then he take bath there and used to stay with the special kripa. Then he also went to the Uttarakuru, North Islands for unspooled. He collected the unspooled and returned to the mountain. The same way, he also offered the water and unspooled to the other bhikkhus who are practicing meditation, who are Stiputojana. They also the same, they rejected his unspooled offered by second Mahathera by saying this, and we don't have any agreement. Even we have already rejected Mahathera's unspooled. Then how we will be able to eat the second Mahathera's unspooled? Then they also rejected the same way. Then second Mahathera also cannot do anything. Then they also continue to practice meditation. Then finally what happened? They passed away. Arahanta took his final Nibbana. Later, maybe. Then Anagami Mahathera passed away and he was reborn in Brahmaran as a Brahma, Anagami Brahma. The other 5 bhikkhus didn't attain any attainment. Then, after 7 days of practice, then their body began drying up. Then, having drying up in their body without eating and drinking any water and food, then they died. They all died. 5% died. Is it? By practicing meditation without eating and drinking for 7 days. That is why, don't stay without drinking and eating for 7 days. Then you will die. Is it? That is why Thamin attack me together with water drinking. Then, without drinking water, without eating any food for 7 days, then they will die. Then 5 bhikkhu also died after 7 day meditation practiced without eating and drinking. Then what happened? After passing away from bhikkhu life, one of them, one of these 5, all became Deva and Devarans. Because of meditation practice, they became Deva and Devarans. Then they stay in Devarans for a long time between 2 Buddhas, between Kassapa Buddha and our Gautama Buddha times. Maybe sometime they are Deva and Devarans. They may pass away after they became Deva and Devarans again. In this way, maybe many Deva lives, not only one life. Is it? Then during our Buddha times, maybe before appearance of our Buddha, then they became human beings and human realms. One of them, one is a Pokusati king, Pokusati Raja. Another one is a Kumara Kassapa, Bhikkhuni's son, Venerable Kumara Kassapa. Another one is a Bahiya Daruciriya, this one. One is a Dhammapada Buddha. Dhammapada Buddha, he became Arahant since 7 years of his age. Then another one is a Bahiya Prabhajaka, Wandara. Sunset Sopiya Prabhajaka. These five became human being and human run during our Buddha times. Then what happened? One, Anagami Thera became Brahma and Brahmaran. Or this one is a Purana Salohita. They are relatives in the past. They are fellow monks who practice meditation together during the Kassapa Buddha dispensation. He is Brahma now. That is why now, from time to time, he also observes where are his fellow monks. Oh, they are in Devarans. Oh, now they became human in human realm. What they are doing? Then the Buddha appear during this time. He also knows, Anagami Brahma knew this. Then where are my friends? Then at that time he saw Bahiya. He is pretending as Arahanta. Is it? He is pretending as Arahanta. Then at that time he came down and I will go and remind him. Then he came down to human walk. Then he approached. He asked Bahiya, you are not Arahanta. Is it? He said, you are also not the one who is practicing to become Arahanta. Then you have no practice to become Arahanta. Then he reminded him by standing on in the sky. At that time, Bahiya saw Brahma in the sky. Then, he thought to himself, many people recognize him as Arahanta. That is why he also thought to himself, I am one of the Arahanta. Why? He is a different appearance from the other person. Is it? Then when Brahma reminded him, then he immediately feels sense of urgency. Oh, Brahma told me I am not Arahanta. I am not one of the Arahanta. I am not practicing to become Arahanta. I have no practice to become Arahanta. Then he didn't pretend. He feels sense of urgency. Previously, he thought himself he is one of the Arahanta. Is it? But now as soon as the Brahma reminded him, then he also confessed. He didn't prepare. Oh, I am not one of the Arahanta. Then there must be Arahanta in the world. Then he asked the Brahma, oh Brahma, is there any Arahanta in the world? Is there anyone who is teaching to become Arahanta? Then at that time he reminded, Gautama Buddhas appear in the world. No, the Buddha is living in Jetavana Monastery in Savatthi, northern part of India. Then at that time, Soparaka city and Savatthi city is 120 years far away, 1,200 miles far away. As soon as he heard, oh, the Buddha appeared, he was living in Savatthi city. Then, without hesitation, he immediately went to Jetavana Monastery on this night. Then finally, he reached Savatthi city within one night, next morning. 1,200 miles far away. It said because of the power of Brahma, or some say because of the power of the Buddha. Then he reached there. Then as soon as he arrived at the Jetavana Monastery, then many bhikkhu just finished their breakfast. Then before practicing meditation not to fall asleep, now they are walking open space here and there, walking park. Oh, is it? Here and there. At that time, he asked, Bhante, where is the Buddha? Where is the Buddha? Then at that time, where did you come from? I came from Soparaka city. Oh, it is very far away. The Buddha is entering into the Savatthi cities for unspoot. At that time, the Buddha was entering into Savatthi cities for unspoot. Is it? Then they also answered, the Buddha was still entering into the Savatthi cities for unspoot. You came here from very far away city. Then you should drink the water, you should wash your feet with the water and apply your feet with the oil and rest for a while. When the Buddha came back to the monastery, you will have opportunity to meet the Buddha. They also says in this way, nobody, I want to meet the Buddha immediately. We don't know our danger. We don't know the danger of our life or the Buddha's life. We can pass away. We may die any times with any danger. Because of this reason, I cannot wait. I will go and meet the Buddha. Then he followed the Buddha to the Savatthi city. Then finally, he found the Buddha on the way, on the road in the Savatthi city. The Buddha was collecting the unspoot in Savatthi city. As soon as he saw the Buddha's appearance, then he feel full of rapture, pity in his mind. Very strong pities appear in his mind because of the quality of the Buddha or appearance of the Buddha. Then as soon as he saw the Buddha, then he also show respect manners toward the Buddha. Then he also approached the Buddha and bowed down 3 times to the Buddha. Then after that, he immediately requested. He immediately requested the Buddhas to preach the Dhamma. Bhante, please give the Dhammas to me. Please preach the Dhammas to me. Then the Buddha understood. Then one time the Buddha rejected. No, Bahiya, this is not proper place, not proper times to preach the Dhammas to you. I am still collecting the unspoot here. Then he also don't stop. Bhante, our life is not sure. Then we can die any times because of some danger. That is why please give the Dhamma talk to me. Then he requested the second time. Then the Buddha also rejected. Why the Buddha rejected? Because he had a full of pity in his mind. If pity is arising in his mind strongly, then his mind is shaken. Is it? You have experienced such kinds of things. Then, if his mind is shaken, although the Buddha preached the Dhamma, then he will not be able to listen to the Dhamma concentratively, carefully. Then he will not be able to receive the Dhamma attentively. Is it? Then one day, he just came from very far away city. Then he was very tired. That is why his mind should be stable with the equanimous mind, like upekha. Is it? Without falling into somanasa, pleasant feeling, or without falling into unpleasant feeling. There must be equanimous mind, upekha. Equanimity tranquility is very important when they listen to the Dhamma to realize the Nibbana. Is it? That is why the Buddha understood this condition. Then when the Buddha wait for some times, then his mind will become stable without strong pity. Another thing is then his body also become tranquil when he rests for some times. That is when the Buddha rejected 2 times. Then he continued to request the 3rd times to preach the Dhamma after some time. Then at that time he is ready to accept the Buddha's Dhamma, to listen to the Buddha's Dhamma. That time the Buddha preached the Dhammas to him. Bhante, please preach the Dhamma briefly. Then the briefly means the Buddha preached the Dhamma to the Bahiya Daruciriya briefly. What is the Buddha Dhamma? Tasamati hate Bahiya Ewan Sekitapan Dete Dhammapada Boisati Sute Sudhammapada Boisati. Is it? Mute Mudhammapada Boisati Winyate Winyadhammapada Boisati. Or short Dhamma talk. Then me Dete Dhammapada Boisati. When you see visible object, depending on this object, okay, this object will appear in the eye translucency. Then depending on, visible objects and Chakku Pasara eye translucency, then Chakku Vijnana consciousness will arise. Chakku Dwara Viti will arise together with following Manodara Viti. Then if you have attachment to them, especially this object, desirable object, agreeable object, what will happen? Lobha will arise. If they dislike the object, then what will happen? They will get angry with this object because of ayoniso manasikara, improper attention. But if they have proper attention or depending on this object, then this kinds of witi will arise, Chakudwara witi will arise. But as soon as they see the objects, eye translucency and the Chakku Vijnana consciousness, etc., then they will contemplate them as anicca, dukkha, anatta, pay attention, their rising and perishing. At that time, only just vipassana knowledge will arise without arising any defilement. In the same way, when you hear the sound, then this sound will appear in the ear translucency. Depending on these two, the dwara, dot and object, then Sota Vijnana's consciousness will arise. Sota Dwara Viti and following Manodara Viti will arise. Then, without having attachment and without having anger toward the object, then only just contemplate it as anicca, dukkha, anatta. In this way, smell object and the nose translucency, taste objects and tongue translucency, tangible object and body translucency, mind, Dhamma objects and mind, the mind door. In this way, sister. Whatever objects appear, then such kinds of chaita will arise. Then whatever chaitas, objects and chaita sister, only nama and rupa or five khandha. Then without having any kilesa, then you just contemplate it as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then the Buddha says this one, vipassana practice briefly. Is it? Then at the end of the Dhamma talk, then he became Aranda together with Patisambhida, Jnana, analytical faculty, analytical knowledges on the ways in the Savatthi city. As soon as he became Arahanta, then he also requested the Buddha for his higher ordinations, his ordination. Then what happened? The Buddha also understood his condition. Then, Bhante, please allow me for higher ordination. At that time, the Buddha didn't give. Usually, the Buddha will call Ehi Bhikkhu. Bhikkhu comes practice the holy practice to make the end of suffering. The Buddha will say. As soon as the Buddha say these words to this person automatically become bhikkhu. Become bhikkhu appearance together with the bowl and rope. But the Buddha didn't ask, do you have except for 3 ropes and answer Bahiya Daruciriya? I don't have Bhante, then please go and find. Without having except for 3 ropes and answer, you cannot ordain, you cannot be a bhikkhu. Is it? That is why the Buddha asked him to find the boat and rope. Why? He practiced meditation. Let me briefly, he didn't offer any boat and rope in the past. Is it? The Buddha knew this condition. Although he was a bhikkhu during the Buddha's Kassapa dispensation, he practiced meditations for 20,000 years during the Buddha's Kassapa dispensation. At that time, he also had many rope and boat. But what he thought is, okay, bhikkhu, if they receive the requisites, they use themselves without sharing with the other bhikkhus, the other fellow monks. He had this idea. That is why he just used himself without offering. Is it? Not only in this life, not only in this bhikkhu life, also in the past he didn't offer any bow and ropes to the other. Because of this reason, although he wished to ordain as a bhikkhu, then he was not successful. The Buddha didn't allow him his ordination. Then, when the Buddha asked him to find the rope and bowl, then he went to the other place to find the boat and rope, to collect the Panchakula rope, etc. Is it? From the Buddha. Then, in one place, maybe near the rubbish heap. Then when he was collecting the pieces of clothes in the rubbish bin, at that time, one cow attacked him. Then he was died. Why? This cow is actually, one yakini, female yakha, ogress, disguised as a cow. Then she attacked this bhikkhu. She attacked this Bahiya Daruciriya. Then he passed away. Do you remember Lepasopa Buddha? Then he is also one of these 4%. Dhammapada also one of these 4%. Another one is a Pokusati. Then the Lepasopa Buddha, Dhammapada, Bahiya Daruciriya, and Pokusati. They will keep by this yakini, female yakha. Then here, Bahiya Daruciriya, when he was collecting the pieces of clothes in the rubbish bin, then he was killed by the yakha. Then he passed away in this area without ordination. Is it? Then the Buddha also finished his school in the Savatthi city. Then the Buddha returned to the Jetavana monastery together with the other bhikkhus. At that time, then the Buddha saw Bahiya Daruciriya's dead body in the rubbish heap. At that time, the Buddha instructed the other bhikkhu, please go and stand in front of one house for small bed. Then put his dead body on the small bed and go outside of the cities and burn his body. Then according to the Buddha's instruction, bhikkhu also did so. Then the Buddha asked bhikkhu, please take his relics and make the Jetiya stupa. Why? He is one of the Arahanta. Or the Buddha says he is Arahanta. Then Arahanta, then they also make the Jetiyas for Bahiya Daruciriya. That is why, although he was a lay person, but Arahanta, that is why we also use here Bahiya Daruciriya Thera. Actually, he passed away before ordination, but use here Bahiya Daruciriya Thera, Arahanta. Without wearing the rope ordination, then as Arahanta, they cannot stay longer. They pass away on this day. Was it? Then, when the Buddha arrived at the Jetavana monastery, then many bhikkhu sangha also have Bhante, Just now, okay, when the Buddha arrived in the Jetavana monastery, the Buddha also gave him one position. This is, Edadagan Bhikkhu Mama Savagana Bhikkhuna Khipa Bhinyana Yadidan Bahiya Daruciriya. Oh, that means he is the great, he is the foremost one among those who have very sharp abhinyana, very sharp knowledge. Those who know the Dhamma quickly, is it? Then, he is the foremost one among the Buddha's disciples. The Buddha gets Itadeka. Then at that time, many bhikkhu also said, Bhante, just now you said he was one of the Arhanta. Where did he become Arhanta? Then he became Arhanta on the road in the Savatthi city. Who preached the Dhamma? I am preaching the Dhamma shortly. Then, after listening to this Dhamma, then he became Arhanta. Then, at that time, Bhante, you preach the Dhammas to the Bahiya Daruciriya, very short Dhamma talk. Can he become Arhanta with this short Dhamma talk? At that time, the Buddha answered, Bhikkhus, my Dhamma is short or long, small or big, it is no problem. If it is beneficial, if they are related to the Dhamma, then it will be beneficial. Although there are many stanzas, many gathas, 1,000 gatha, but if they are not related to the Dhamma, then they are not beneficial, they are useless. Is it? By saying this, the Buddha recited this stanza. Sahasa mabi jegatha anatha pada sanhita ekan gatha padan seyo yan sotwa upasamati. Oh, this one. Sahasa mabi jegatha anatha pada sanhita. There are many 1,000 verses, 1,000 stanza, gatha, anatha pada sanhita. They are not related to the Dhamma, especially Khanda, Namarupa, and Four Noble Truths, etc. They composed, they described about the city, forest, mountain, ocean, or men or women, etc. Then they are not beneficial, they are useless, although 1,000 gatha. Is it? Ekan gatha padan seyo yan sotwa upasamati. But there's only one gatha, one stanza, one verse, but related to the Dhamma. By listening to this one stanza, what will happen? They can realize Nibbana. They can destroy the kilesa. Then they will experience peace in their mind. Then it is useful and beneficial. Then, although it is only one stanza, this stanza is useful and beneficial for all. That is why, the Buddha said this stanzas to Bhikkhu Sangha. Then, ekan gatha padan seyo yan sotwa upasamati. That is why, one useful verse is better than 1,000 useless verses. Why? By hearing only one useful stanza, they can attain peace, they can attain Nibbana. That is why only one stanza which is useful is better than 1,000 stanza which is useless. Oh, the Buddha says to Bhikkhu Sangha, then many become Sotapanna, etc. Okay, this is the story of Bahiya Daruciriya. By listening to this story, then may you be able to practice meditation like 7 bhikkhus. Then here our Buddha says now also now later part of Buddha Sasana. That is why there are also many immoral bhikkhus in the Buddha's dispensation. Before disappearance of the Buddha's dispensation, then trying to practice meditation diligently to attain your reliable Dhamma yourself. Then you need to practice yourself, no? Nobody can have, only just sometimes may have, but main person is you yourself. You need to practice yourself. We can teach, we can provide the, for example, goodie, request, etc. But if you don't practice meditation yourself, practically, then you cannot attain. That is why you are the most important persons to attain, to practice meditation to attain Nibbana. May you be able to practice to attain Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idame punya asawakaya vahan hotu. Idame punya Nibbanasa Pechayo hotu. Mama punya bhagam Sabha sadhana Vajemi Te sabhe Me sama Punya bhagam Labantu Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.